are sci-fi writers playing old school D&D, and damn, that's jarring when it stops. I gotta work on that. But luckily, I'm gonna have some time this week, so we're gonna get all sorts of fancy coming up. We have, speaking of fancy, we have Big Benny being played by legendary player Jim Ward.
Hello there.
We have Aloysius Kuchenmeyer Wilbur, also known as Booger, Ep8, being played by Michael Rothman.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, Captain Kilgosha already subscribing tier 1 on the feed. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Lord Daly is saying hi. And speaking of high on life right now, because of his shot group being outstanding, we have Nick Chaos Actual Cole.
I'm here. Big Benny, as a legendary game designer, do you have anything of more gravitas than high? Did you have words of wisdom or legendary I shall return, or you need a catchphrase.
So how about don't eat the yellow snow?
How about TPK for life for you? Apparently.
Oh no, that's a legend I don't want.
Well,
but it's accurate, isn't it?
Isn't that how you?
It is accurate. But
isn't that how you cheated on us all last weekend, committing adultery?
How
many people did you kill last week?
It was only 8 at a time, and of the 24, 22 died.
22 people.
Damn.
Yeah. It's their fault, though, not my fault. I just want to make that clear.
I'm pretty sure that was
serial killer ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was what John Wayne Gacy said.
We have Lieutenant Rick James being played by J.R. Hanley.
Good afternoon. And I thought Benny had the catchphrase. Wasn't it roll them bones?
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
One of many.
Lord Dalius wanted to know, only 22?
So the question remains, does it really count as a TPK if the players ice themselves on purpose so he can't? Because one of them dropped a grenade on purpose so he couldn't kill them.
Yeah, it was a fusion bomb, actually, and it killed the whole group. Just because she didn't want me to kill them. I didn't think that was fair at all.
What is your secret to killing an entire party? Is it that you're just tired, or you don't follow the rules, or how do you kill everybody?
I put savage encounters in my game, and they're expected to run from them, and role players never run.
They never run.
Is there any fun in running if you're playing a tournament game?
Well, if you like to live, yeah, it's great fun. I mean, there are people that have lived in 2 or 3 of my games and are like proud as punch.
But how do you win a tournament game if your only ability to survive is to run away?
Well, you always have. I don't know what everybody else does, but I always have a single goal that they hear at the beginning of the game, and they're expected to complete that goal.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of completing a goal, we have Lieutenant Mike Espinoza being played by CJ Correa.
Let loose the putches of war.
and CJ, how many times have you TPK'd an entire party? Once.
Complete wipeout. Yeah.
Well, James, that's very interesting.
Okay, 48 years of playing. Yeah. I'm gonna get some mileage there. How many years has Carlos, my friend, been DMing? How many years, buddy?
Since 88. So
88.
Yeah.
And this was in Venezuela, where killing an entire party was Tuesday.
Oh yeah, because
I see.
Oh my God! Well, speaking of killing our entire party, let's get a quick recap. After landing in Reed Marsh Landing, the group decided to hawk their wares as Rock Powers got explicitly drunk. Eventually, making contact with another trade caravan, they managed to pick up not only some gold for their trouble, but also a cursed member of the other party, aka Lamb, who very much resembled a Frankenstein's monster, reportedly cursed by the very dwarves after all of you. After some revelry and a little bit of time on the ship, you then went back to the bar and discovered an entire herd of people surrounding the bar, where you discovered a dead crow that Wilbur is convinced might have been the crow that helped him in his augury using the fetish. However, on further examination, the crowd exhibited a almost a hive mind, as an enemy from your past spoke about past deeds where you fought off a small horde to grab a meteorite, and in doing so, killed a machine gun wielding dwarf. The last image shown on top of a bloody bar through some sort of a mystical blood ritual was an image of Benny cutting off the man's ear almost through the man's dead own eyes. The last thing, right before the curtains cut, JR's powers once again manifested, showing some sort of wraith bounding from person to person. And as they all turned red from their golden auras, signifying a total possession, we roll for initiative. Who's got the dice for me?
I will roll the dice. What are we rolling? A 20-sider? And I will roll it today on something we received from a good friend of the show. This is a dice pad, and it was made by Ted Lehman, who originally was helping us with Forgotten Ruin and everything like that. Ted is a Finnish carpenter, and he is a veteran, I believe 82nd Airborne, and he just made this beautiful, beautiful thing for me to roll dice on. It is very cool. If people want more, maybe, or if people want one, put it in the chat, and maybe we can hook you up with Ted.
Oh, that's awesome.
Does Ted have a website?
Does Ted have a website? I don't know.
Well, if we can find out, we can share it in the Facebook group.
Yeah. How about a 15 first roll on the dice mat?
Ooh, nice. And I do not get a 15. So as you guys, so Rock Powers, you're over beside the bar. You have a couple of the daggers there. Lieutenant Espinosa comes walking up, as does Benny. The last thing Benny sees as he walks up is the bloody image of him cutting off the ear of that enemy dwarf so many months ago. The crowd all put their hands out, and then they just start like shaking a little bit. They're not doing anything yet, but it doesn't look good.
I have a question. Does the ear necklace, does any one of the ears on his necklace, do we notice any movement? Because he's wearing that ear on his necklace.
You do not.
Okay.
And then I ask, do you want to see his head? I got it in my pack.
Oh, that's disturbing. It's probably a little less than a head now because it's been some time.
Well, I've worked on it. I've put it in salt and done my job to shrink it down, make it usable.
Oh my God! Somebody's going to be a necromancer in another life. All right, so you got a.
I hope he has a good therapist.
You guys got a 15. Who's going first?
Can we kill them all? I ask.
They're just
the captain will go first,
and their arms are out. So Rock Powers, you're up first.
Rock Powers is up first. How much have I drank so far?
You're about into. You've almost killed a fifth.
Sweet. Okay, then I'm ready to go.
Are you doing anything?
Well, I have my new Ring of Speed on. Do I see the red thing, or only does
JR? And he hasn't told anybody yet.
And everybody is kind of facing the bar, facing us.
No,
it's a huge semicircle.
I thought I passed that on at the end of last session.
Right. You passed on that there was a wraith going from person to person and let them know. But as everybody turned red, you didn't have time to tell them. So this might be a good time.
All right. I'm going to tell them that I saw a wraith that was red jumping from person to person. And now everybody is red.
All right. And like I said, everybody's got their arms outstretched and they're kind of like in the middle of a seizure.
Remind us again how many people this is. So
about
we know numbers.
30.
All right, so
only 30.
I have not fully discovered the powers of my meteorite sword that the dwarves discussed, and I'm just drunk enough to see if the sword does anything for me. So I pull it out and hold it in front of me, and I concentrate.
Of the sword that the dwarves made for you?
Yes.
And
I say lucky number 7.
That's different. The second you activate the code word, it becomes lighter in your hands. It shivers, and you get those like those runic ghostly scripts that kind of hover over the blade. The blade becomes ghostly and almost non-existent in your hand, like as far as like weight wise go. And then you get the sense that there's something different about the letters this time. They're like winking in and out of existence, almost like a candle flickering.
Okay.
So, but other than that, it's doing exactly what it did before.
Can I read the letters?
They're some sort of runic alphabet. You know that the dwarves told you that they inscribed the names of your weapons, and that's what comes up when you activate them.
All right, I'm ready. I'm holding my attack then.
All right, that brings us to Rick James.
All right. Is the bull necklace that I took from the dead wizard doing anything, or is it just sitting there?
It's just sitting there.
If I touch it, does anything happen?
It jiggles a little. Wow.
I don't want to get jiggly with it. All right. Then I'm going to hold my action and wait and see as I try to figure out what the hell just happened with this weird wraith magic crap.
You can still see them, and it's weird because there's this little hint of a golden aura, which is when you look at your fellow teammates, they have it. So you would assume soul, spirit, something that anchors their spirit into their body. Maybe the ones that are like surrounding the bar are all very red. There's a golden tinge on the outside, like some vestige of them remains, but it's getting very faint and very narrow.
Right now, I look at Benny. What do I see? Still,
it's that golden sheen.
So no darkness.
It.
Come on.
All right, so I pass on what I saw as my action. I'm going to say, hey, I see this. We all seem to have a yellow aura about us, and these people had it, but it's slowly fading and turning red, like their soul is dying.
Okay, so that brings us to CJ.
I grab my spear and say the magic words, Santa Muerte.
All right, so yours does the same things that Nick's does, but the letters hovering over yours are solid.
Okay.
You doing anything with it?
I'm ready to attack anybody who makes an actual hostile movement, but otherwise holding my action.
Gotcha. That brings us to Wilbur.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and activate the Hebrew Hammer.
Same thing. Yours does the same thing that Mike's does.
All right, and I'm actually going to, based on JR's description, Rick James's description, I'm gonna see if by yelling a warning to the folks that are surrounding us startles or makes any difference in any of the auras. Does the red waver? Does anything? And I ask Rick that question. So I yell real loud in a threatening manner.
Gotcha. They don't move. There's still that convulsion, almost like I said, they're in the middle of a seizure, and they do not seem to react to what you say.
And I'll pass that on.
All right, Benny.
Hey, I'm squeezing the ear of the little dwarf that I killed, and I'm saying, you stop this, or I'm going to crush your skull underneath my holy foot. And that's what I do.
Gotcha. Nothing happens as of yet. The assembled crowd continues in their convulsions. A couple of them rips and tears come into their skin as the convulsions continue. They start desiccating, almost becoming mummified. Bits of flesh start hanging off, but several of the members are like at periodic spots around the semicircle. They have small tears that start forming into the flesh, and blood, almost like a mist, start coming out and splashing into the water. And as that happens, you see like a head, and then a set of shoulders, and it's rising from the muck around the bar, almost like a what do you call it? Like somebody covered in paint is rising out of the ground.
Do we still have the machine gun?
Yes, but seeing as it's only the core members here and not the Dagger team who are having it, you don't have it with you.
That was good planning, Captain.
Well, they came here just for a drink. The bodies continue to form up. The people who are around you shivering are, like I said, they're taking on desiccated features, kind of like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when the guys start melting when they see the Ark. It's like they're shriveling, like they're being in like a giant jerky dryer, and they're just being desiccated away from their original flesh. Knight of Barsoom is saying he's got a plan for this. So that brings us back to Nick. What are you doing?
I'm going to attack one of these things and lop its head off.
All right, go for it. It's got an AC of 8.
I shit you not. First roll on the dice mat is a hit. 20.
Nice. Ooh. Give me a
with a meteor
roll.
Percentile. Yep. I will use my Pathfinder dice that I was given by what company?
That's Awesome Dice.
Awesome Dice. Are they our new people?
They are our new people. They're
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they actually have a great selection of dice. If you go to their website and check them out, they're just fantastic. Yeah, look at those. Hold on a sec. We'll get those in the front. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Really, really nicely done. Their dice are weighted and tested. They're just an all-around good company. If you get a few minutes, run on over to their website and check them out. They have all sorts of dice bags. If you're looking for the more expensive stuff like all metal or carved obsidian, they have those as well. So we'll put that link up in just a second.
That's where I just ordered dice from, because I'm sick of critical ones.
Carved obsidian dice would be my jam. And let us all note that they're way better than those, what is it, home set dice, where we had to color them in, Jim?
Oh, God.
Well, come on. That's a long, ugly story, and it wasn't my fault. I just like to point that out.
Nothing at TSR was your fault. And yet,
you were management there.
And yet the $40 million company collapsed like a house of cards.
Yes, but it's the best memories of our childhood.
There we go.
Let's go with, that's a 12-sider. From the Pathfinder dice, we're going to roll an 11, looks like a 17.
17. All right. So you run this sword basically sideways. It shatters its arm and fractures its ribs. The magic of the blade activates, and those letters, which are kind of like flickering, they get really powerfully strong for a second. The blast of the blade starts cutting through. Can you give me damage on that?
Yes, I can. That is going to be 2d4, right?
Yes, sir.
2d4.
2d4.
Let's go with 4 and 2, 3, 7.
All right. There's a pressure wave that forms right as you hit this thing's ribs, and the flesh bursts. The flesh of this this man thing just bursts apart. The ribs become incendiaries, almost lighting on fire, and they burn through 2 more of them, knocking down a total of 3 in the hit.
Damn.
That brings us to Rick James.
All right. I am going to pull out my 9mm and start shooting. Aimed headshots.
So you're going to go for a headshot.
Yes.
Okay, you need to add a -4 to your roll.
Which is
To the
generous.
roll or to the damage roll?
No, to hit roll.
To hit roll.
All right, let me pulling out the character sheet to see what I got to do for a 2 damage. Okay.
He hasn't told you the armor class yet.
Yeah, I did. It's AC 8.
Okay.
I got a 19, so 15.
15. Hold on a second. I have this. So 15. What's your attack bonus?
+1.
Because you be the man.
All right. And so you do not hit the head.
Okay.
You hit the body. It's like a glancing hit. It when it hits the shoulder, it poofs like a bunch of the skin just basically dissolves into dust. There's like a powder spray as you hit the thing, but it looks totally unaffected. That brings us to CJ.
Can I get to the thing emerging out of the water.
What are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to get to the figure that was rising.
Yes, yeah, you can reach it.
I'm gonna start it with my spear.
There's 5 of them. Give me a number.
All right. And with my bonuses, it's gonna be a 16.
16, and you're not aiming for the head, correct?
No, I'm just starting.
All right. All right. Give me damage.
6.
Ooh. All right. So as you plunge your spear through this like watery thing, you notice there's no resistance. It's just literally what it looks like. It looks like before, like a golem of just blood. It's like just taking your spear and stabbing it into the water. Like spear fishing without the fish on the other side. But it goes through the golem-like form that's forming. The thing screams in terror, clawing at itself. Basically, like it looks like running your fingers over a painted surface where it's leaving streaks on itself. It ignites in fire, and there's like a huge gout of flame that comes up from the wet ground where it was. That brings us to
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Wilbur.
Well, I'm gonna pull out a flask of oil. And
Whoa, we don't want to hear about what you and Mrs. Rothman do.
and I will try to get as many of these blood targets as possible.
Okay.
And so I will ignite and toss these over.
So I assume you're tossing the flask away from the side where CJ has just closed.
Correct. So as far away from fellow travelers, but trying to get as many of the bloody guys.
Gotcha. The Josh Hayes has subscribed for 3 months at tier 1. We want to say thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
That's great.
All right. So go ahead. Give me a roll. Tell me what you got.
And I got a 20.
Wow, you guys are rolling like crazy.
That was insane. Okay, good.
Damn awesome dice. All right, what do you got? Give me a percentile roll.
A percent roll. All right. A 93. Is that good?
3 on a splash. So just like Nick had used his sword to erupt a couple of them, you catch one of these things on a bounce. It ignites totally, so the thing catches it very well. There's a good splash, but as it starts flinging around, it catches fire to 2 more, and they, rather than like aiming their focus at you, they're kind of slapping each other in multiple directions, trying to get the fire to go out. That brings us to Benny.
Could I have the dimensions of the room again as I pull out my fragmentation grenade?
We're outside.
Right. Yeah, you guys are outside.
We're outside. All right.
So think of it like if you look at the kind of like the image that's behind us, and I might be able to pull this up real quick. You're in like a pavilion. So there's a big covered roof. There's bars and tables and plank flooring, but outside there's it's like an open air restaurant.
So I can easily toss a grenade at the back of the group and not worry about hitting my close friends.
That is correct.
Well, that's what I'll do.
All right. So to give you a example, this is what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Unfortunately, I rolled an 8. It's probably not the best roll in the world.
Can you give me a percentage roll?
I'll be happy to, my good friend, and the answer is 93.
93.
The same one I got.
The same one he got. You managed to catch, because you said you threw it at the back.
Yes, sir.
You managed to catch one in the conflagration, just because I love that word. There's a pop as the glass shatters and the fire ignites, but you catch one of the buildings beside the bar, so that thing is on fire as well now.
Cool.
on their turn, the rest of the crowd. So there are some avoiding the flaming zombie dudes, and then there are some that's the Knight of Barsoom is saying, "Oh my God, he's McCluskey in disguise." So there's they're avoiding a good number of the flaming zombie dudes that you managed to ignite. The rest are kind of like swarming around them like a river around a rock to try and get to you guys. They each try to attack one of you. Wilbur, you kind of get swarmed a little bit, and they start like punching and kicking. It doesn't look like they're trying to do anything zombie-like, like bite you. And you take 3 points from one of the hits across the face.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay.
So now you guys are each engaged with a couple of zombies each. While this is happening, near you, Mike, the other 4 like blood golems, they fully form into men, very muscular. The blood kind of dries, and as they start moving, it flakes away, almost like paint peeling off a wall. And the underneath are like these bearded men. They have the tops of their head shaved and heavily tattooed. The back of them have like these long braids, almost like dreadlocks. Where they're not covered in armor, they're covered in tattoos. And one of them is standing close enough to you to where you can see him. He gets a smile on his face, showing off a pair of gold fangs, and he pulls a pistol on you that looks like an M18.
Wow.
Captain Kilgosha in the chat is saying, Walton Disguise, I am assuming that you are talking about my height, in which case, yes, I am a gold tooth plated dwarf. He tries to take a shot and misses and hits one of the zombies that are on you. He curses and kind of like, but the way he curses catches, you don't know if your friends heard it, but you definitely hear it. He swears in English. The other ones, they start chanting and waving their hands around. As they do that, several of the other zombies crumble into dust and just hit the ground. That brings us back to Rock Powers.
Okay, so am I engaged with more of them, or they're turning to dust?
You have 2 on you.
Okay.
You had 4, but 2 of them turned to dust as they're doing whatever it is they're doing.
Okay, I would like to disengage from them by spinning my blade around as they attack and hopping back onto the bar, so I'm above them. So
Gotcha.
I have high ground. Very, very duelist-like move.
I love it. Make it work.
Should we roll for an attack or should we roll for dexterity?
I would say roll for the attack, and if the attack is successful, that will clear your path to get on the table.
To do the Zorro thing.
To do the Zorro thing, yes. Oh, imagine if he gets a mask in that hat.
Instead of a Z, you could put like a P for powers.
If I'm Prometheus, I'm already wearing a mask.
Yes, that is true. Did you see all in the fan group the amount of like speculation that this is all a simulation in Prometheus's mind?
Oh, baby, wouldn't that be great?
Jason, pretend you didn't hear that.
I think Prometheus drove Andrew, our old wizard, particularly nuts, because the premise is that you were all just a figment in Prometheus's head, and I felt I could see like a little vein appearing in his eye every time. Watch that. No, I didn't see a vein. I rolled a 14. Does that do it for me?
Yes. Yep. Okay. All right. So you hit. Give me damage.
I disengage I'm going to do 4 points of damage.
Ooh. And check the.
I have to say, my dice rolls are much better with the Ted Lehman.
Oh, with the dice mat?
Ranger mat.
Oh, nice. We should have ones that he wonder if he could get ones that say Carl don't care.
He made like he initially showed me like a bunch of different things, and there was one that said like instead of the be meaner than it, he had Carl Gustav don't care. He had KTF. He had a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh, be meaner than it. So yeah, it's definitely possible.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys see he whacks one of these things. It explodes into the other. They get tangled in shards of bone and broken flesh as they hit the ground. Go ahead and give me that dexterity roll to get onto the bar.
16. Man, my rolls are phenomenal.
Must be those awesome dice. So the what do you call it? You get onto the bar, and there's now you have the high ground, but you notice as you do that, the weight of the sword goes from 0 to hero and goes to its full weight, and the shimmering effect of the blade stops.
Okay.
All right, and that brings us to Rick James.
How close in on me? Because you said all of us have about 4 people surrounding us. How close to me are they?
They're close. Punching, kicking range.
All right, then I can't get to the violet. I think. Okay. Does this mean I don't have to aim because I'm pretty much touch their forehead, pull the trigger?
Nope. Still got to aim because they're still moving. They're not just sitting there going. They're.
Well, you said they were zombie-like. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, but they're still punching and kicking and they're trying to curb stop your groin. It's not a pleasant afternoon.
All right, you do believe in roll again, right? Like we get a mulligan.
No.
All right, 1. God damn.
You got a 1?
Yes.
All right.
No. See, this is why I needed my awesome dice to arrive a few days sooner. They're supposed to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, if you go to the link on screen, you can get right there right now and get those awesome dice yourself. So you there's a ka-chink, and you Captain Kilgosha, did he shoot any? Josh wants to know, you always have to restomp the groin. Yes, you do. Excellent reference, by the way. So yeah, the what do you call it? The thing hits, and you turn slightly, and you notice that there's a stovepipe in there. So you're gonna have to clear that jam. That brings us to CJ.
Okay. Am I close to any of the blood columns, or do I have too many zombies in the way?
Yeah, you got 2 zombies on you, but you think you can reach one of these guys who are like gesturing and casting.
Yeah, I want to get one of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it. Let's say that's a 4. I can add my strength bonus to my roll.
Yes, strength bonus and your attack bonus.
Okay, so 16 total.
Yep, you get them. Give me damage. 1d6. Tell me what you get.
And this time it's a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
All right. You get him straight in the leg. You feel the bone break as you blast through his thigh, and you can see a gout of blood coming out the other side. He initially screams, but then looks almost giddy at whatever it is he's doing. That brings us to Booger.
Well, I just rolled because I knew what I was going to do, and I'm staring at the screen in disbelief. But okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna. How many do I have in front of me?
You have 2 zombies on you, and off in the distance there are 3 guys that are kind of like waving their arms around. And then there's the what do you call it? There's the one guy that Mike just stabbed.
Okay, so I'm gonna go take the hammer and try to take the 2 that are immediately out in front of me out. That being said, you asked me what I rolled. I rolled the 20 again, 2 in a row.
Are you using the Wizards of the Coast die roller? I think they're against me today.
I'm using Google actually, so whatever Google uses.
Oh,
You're
right.
sucking the life force out of my dice and turning it on very.
I'm like, I don't think that's ever happened in my life, but okay.
So yeah, you hit one kind of like, your first swing knocked one into the other. This one's on more of the backswing. It crushes shoulder and shatters arm as one zombie goes into another, and they both explode. And the same thing that happened to Chaos Actual's blade, where the letters are shimmering, yours starts shimmering, and then they wink out.
Okay.
And now the mace feels like an 8-pound weapon in your hand. It brings us to Benny.
How far away are the blood guys from me?
Probably about 20 feet. You could get to
20
them,
feet?
Yeah, and do something if you wanted to.
Could
Or
I
you
lob
shoot
a
'em.
grenade that way?
Yes, your friends are not in the path of that, so you could throw a grenade.
Well, that wouldn't stop me, but sure, sounds great. I'm lobbing a fragmentation grenade and getting a very wonderful 18.
Ooh. Can I have some damage on that, please?
94.
That would be no, not a percentile. I just need damage.
Is it 3d6 these days?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 11, 14.
Ooh.
I think we got an airman first class now.
He's going to get promoted. There's an explosion of mud and blood as 4 of the zombies go down and take one of those like weird casters with it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So there's 2 uninjured and 1 injured. You can see they're in between their hands. There's like this growing ball, almost like swirling red mist of blood, just whirling around, almost like a mini whirlpool in their hands. The one that was in the hands of the one that Mike stabbed. His dissipated and it just splashed all over the ground as like a small torrent of blood. So whatever he was doing, you interrupted. The other 2 lob their little blood tornadoes onto the dock. And when they hit and splash, you see another one of those like forms coming up, like a man, head and shoulders and stuff like that.
Great.
As this is happening, the flesh golem Steiner guy that you have with you, Lamb, comes crashing through the rest of the crowd.
Frankenbeans. It's
Frankenbeans.
Frankenbeans.
Shattering a bunch of the zombies, leaving only 1 or 2 left. And he walks up to you, Rock Powers, and he says, "We need to leave. We need to leave now."
Any reason why?
He points back to the dock and he says, "We need to leave." And he's like furiously pointing. And the what do you call it? The form is almost up. Now these guys were short, kind of dwarvish in their appearance. They were very stocky, very muscular. The one that's coming up is thin, tall, lithe. And Lamb looks very upset about this. Frankenbeans.
Does he mean when he points towards the dock? Does he mean get to our ship? Is that what he's trying to say?
He's because the this new golem is coming up on the dock. It's my wife just dropped a box of arrows in the room, but didn't want to be on camera, so she just slid it into the room. It's arrows for our new bows coming in. But
I thought it was so you could stab us in the back. DM.
No, I'll stab you in the front. I have no shame.
Oh no, James isn't running the game today. This is Walt.
Stop it, Nick! Stop it!
Oh my god! So you guys see this thing coming up, and it's closer to your ship. So in order to get to your ship, you'd have to try and either run around it on the dock, whatever it is, because it hasn't taken full form yet, or you'd have to jump into the water and swim to your ship. Or it's low tide. You could wade to your ship, but it would probably take you a little bit longer.
Okay.
When I think of all the ears and heads I won't be getting if we run away, I'm very sad.
Says the guy who sets up games so that people are supposed to run away, and if they don't, they die.
That was set off camera.
I think that you should guard our rear while we run away.
Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time guarding your rear, buddy.
The captain will say, "This battle is lost. Follow me," and run away.
All right, so you guys are running toward the like solid land foothills kind of deal that leads away from the beach?
Is that the opposite direction of the golem?
Yes.
Then yes.
All right, so you disengage. The zombies are like clutching at you, the ones that are left. There's only like 3 or 4 of them left. And they're trying to clutch at you, trying to keep you from moving. The 2 guys who had just thrown the little blood tornadoes, they are fully formed now. All of that blood had peeled off of them, and you can see they're dwarves reminiscent of the ones that you fought for that machine gun. back in the day. One of them is doing the one with the pistol. He holsters the pistol and just kind of like waves at you guys, kind of like as you're running away, and he's laughing hysterically. The thing on the dock yells out, "Creature, remember our bargain. It's blood for mud." And the one that was waving at you guys as you start to run, he starts laughing and says, "Just do it." The fully formed golem, his stuff is peeling away now. He's wearing like this black lacquered wooden armored plate on his chest, robes. He's not wearing. He's wearing like these like lacquered shin guards with sandals on underneath, and he's got his head covered in a hood. He kind of makes a scooping motion in the air, and you can feel the wind change. You guys still continuing to run?
Yeah.
Captain.
Toward a sailboat with
Right.
the guy who's controlling the weather.
Yeah.
So as the wind changes, Whoop. Somebody dropped the Nicole emoji of approval into our thing. Thanks for doing that, Night of Presume.
Cool.
So he makes that Sinokin guard the rear by tossing a fragger at their heels. So he makes that scooping motion, and you, like I said, you feel the wind change direction. And as that you kind of glance back to see what's going on, you see all the tide, all the water under this just leave the beach and go out to sea.
Oh.
right,
We know what happens when that happens. It's tsunami time.
So you guys get to the highlands, and as you crest the hill, you can see off in the distance there's a couple ways you can go. You can go on the trade road where you guys originally left to go toward the Broken Teeth with the caravan you originally came with. Or there's another trail that leads to what looks like a receiving fort down on the other side of the hill attached to a lighthouse.
Which one goes up?
The receiving fort with the lighthouse is behind a cove, so it's got some intervening terrain kind of blocking it off from the beach. But the other one, the road goes up.
I think the road would be a good idea if we're going to get a tsunami.
Take the lighthouse. They're designed to weather this kind of stuff.
Well, let's take the lighthouse. They're designed to weather this kind of stuff.
All right, you guys start booking it.
I'm going up the road.
Okay. You start booking it. You get James. How far are you going to run?
As far until the water laps at my heels.
Gotcha. All right, so you're just gonna start trucking it. You guys make it to there's kind of a bridge that gets you out to the little island surrounded by the cove, and like I said, there's a fort surrounding it. So it looks like it's been heavily weathered, like it's been here for a good long while. It's got some ramparts and battlements. But it also looks like it's on raised ground. But you're still Benny's still probably going to be a lot higher than you guys are. So you guys, I assume, cross the bridge and start making your way to the fort.
Yes.
The cove is going to give some natural protection. Benny was a fool. We'll miss him.
As you guys cross the bridge, you notice the water on this section is also being drawn away from the bay. There's everybody hears the sound of like thunder coming in. You hear timbers ripping. You hear the sound of people screaming. There's like mayhem and destruction everywhere, as there's just like this mountain of sound that comes down around you, and then as quickly as it came, it's quiet.
Too quiet.
Where's the wall of water?
What do? You guys
Climb
are
up.
on the. You
Climb
guys
up
I
are on,
suggest we get
lighthouse.
inside the building and prepare for the wave that we know is coming.
Assume the position.
all right. So you guys
Right between knees.
get into the keep and get what do you call it? Get behind the walls.
Yeah, into the
one of the
lighthouse itself.
Well, there's two parts of this. So there's
Right.
the keep itself, which looks like a receiving fort. Like at one point, this might have been a fort guarding the bay.
Right.
It looks kind of broken down, a little bit in disrepair, but still viable. Like you can see some downed trees and stuff like that over the battlements. But the one thing you do notice is that periodically in places they have cannons, like old school, like powder pack cannons. But anyway, you guys come up here. There's an entrance down here by this tower, right? And there's another entrance here by this wall, and then the lighthouse is over here on this other side,
Okay.
which you can get to eventually. But there's a lot going on in this fortress, and like I said, it looks mostly abandoned. So all you got to do is start climbing and get inside, which I assume you guys do.
We do.
Yes.
All right. So you guys make your way in there. Benny, you, from your vantage point up in the hills, see this. Esoteric is like, cannon! You see this wave. It's easily 20 stories tall. It slams the town, basically like a kid stomping through somebody else's sandbox on the playground. It just wrecks this town. And as it pulls out, you can just see utter destruction on the beach. From your vantage point, you can kind of also see your friends a little bit behind the alcove that they're in. They duck out of sight by heading toward that keep, and you can see one of the walls from where you are.
Yeah, okay. Do I judge that I'm high enough that the water won't come close?
Oh yeah, and the water has already pulled back and gone back into the beach. It looks like the wave is done.
Oh, it's not going to get it.
There was a moment of silence in chat for Nick's pirating career.
So it's not going to come back time after time?
It doesn't look like it.
How far back from the beach did it pull back?
It just looks like normal tide now.
All right. Well, it didn't ruin the fort that they were in?
No, the alcove took most of it. You can see like shattered trees and stuff like that, but the natural wall, barrier wall of kind of like the bay that they're in took most of the wave. Looks like most of the tidal wave was aimed at the town.
So I'll look around and then go back to the fort.
All right. You guys see Benny approaching the fort. And you start looking around. Yeah, tons of like old crates and benches, stuff like that. There's a flagpole in the center. It just looks like pretty much like a fort that you guys can take shelter in for the time being. What are you doing beyond that?
I'm going to recommend to Captain Powers that E2 Benny get demoted again for cowardice in the face of the enemy.
Great.
Oh, yeah. He's on extra duty for 21 days now.
Oh my goodness! All right, so
It's still his rank is still on Velcro, right?
I think he got it one stripe back.
yeah,
but it's still Velcro, so you can rip it back off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as he comes running up, we'll just say, just rip it off yourself. We don't have time.
Now, do you guys set up a perimeter? What are you doing?
Of course, naturally. Do any of the dagger team make their way to us from the wreckage, or
Not
assuming
just,
that the ship? Correct, but I could be wrong.
Not just yet. But speaking of forming a perimeter, Michael, did you want to talk a little bit about the Patriot?
Sure. So let's see, the Patriot. So that is actually coming out. The ebook's coming out on Monday, and oddly enough, paperback is out as of today, and it's about Connor Sloan, who's a CIA operations officer. He's confirmed that terrorists have finally gotten their hands on a nuclear weapon, and as most things, politics are at play, even at the highest levels of intelligence, and he faces two choices. He needs to either move on and go with what he knows, or and just let the managers ignore his intel, or go to the press with everything. Patriot's about a man who has committed his life to his country and to those who serve it, even at the possible sacrifice of his own freedom. Right, and it's available on Monday.
Awesome. I've read it. It's actually good, and I will say if I don't want to compare it to something that I really want to compare it to, because I think it would spoil it. But I will say about a little past a quarter of the way into the book, the whole idea of the book changes in a very interesting way. It's a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed reading it.
Good.
Very cool.
So back to the action. You guys are setting up a perimeter when Benny comes through, and you can see off in the distance. You get the sense of a boat coming in, and you hear a almost like an engine.
Well, let's set up our 240 on the parapet to engage it.
240 was with the Dagger team.
Oh, they're not. They're not with us.
They were on the boat.
Oh no!
How's the boat?
Maybe the engineer could get one of these cannons going.
You gonna try?
What are you going to use for gunpowder?
Interesting.
Well, there's barrels around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this place abandoned? Like, as in, there's no supplies, or is it just?
You can see tons of crates.
Let's start looking in the crates.
So it looks like the crates and barrels are mostly like cracked and smashed of what's left. However, you do find what looks like cannon charges. Ooh. So cloth bags, which was once probably wrapped in oil-soaked linen holding gunpowder, but the powder looked mostly ruined and kind of spread all over. A lot of the linen is left, but it didn't look like it weathered. You figure that decades might have gone by since any of this was used.
It's probably very safe. Oh, I will demote Benny really quickly. So
after a moment, as you guys are kind of examining what's left here, on this side of the coming from that side of the island, you can see a small inflatable with the Dagger team on it.
Hooray! Yeah. I'm going to raise my regimental flag on the flagpole so that people can see us and know that the regiment people are here.
There's a flagpole?
There is a flagpole in the center. Okay. You have a regimental flag?
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, okay.
So the important question is, can we tell if they brought the treasure?
You don't know.
Okay.
Because they're coming in right now. Gunner Reich, hello. Hey, and just wanted to toss out a thank you. Recon 702, thanks nice. For following us. We appreciate it. So you guys receive the Dagger team after a few minutes. They come up and they're like, they quickly find the Master Sergeant. Make sure that he's still okay. And Crowley comes to report to you, Nick, and he says, we managed to get the boat out to sea. It sheltered in another alcove, but we told them not to come back for about 24 hours. So we're on our own for about 24.
That's good. I take Sergeant Crowley's report. Very efficient. That's how an NCO should be, a team player.
He says, "Yeah, we put them out in another cove, and we jumped in the Ribby to come get you guys. Did you see what happened to the beach?"
I did. Well, we ran away bravely, but yes.
He goes, "No, after the wave.
No.
Those two short dudes, they started doing some like weird mumbo jumbo, and they got with the skinny dude that caused the tidal wave. Skinny dude walked away with about 10, 15 people, all shackled. But it wasn't like, it was weird because he did some weird things, and I think there might be some like nano stuff going on because like vines came out and became like handcuffs for these people and like chained them all up in a line with vines. I don't know what that was all about, but he walked away like away from the shattered like town with those 15 people who somehow survived the tidal wave. He goes, but the two, like the two dudes, they were doing something, and then like I think they have I think they have like divers in the water, boss.
Why would you think that?
Like from the shallows where like the broken dock was and everything, these people came out from like all the muck and mud and just started like walking on the land, and now they're walking this way. So we need to do something. We need to get out of here.
Hey, Crowley, it's magic.
Because you don't believe in any of this fantasy, you think there were divers.
I mean, maybe they're free divers.
Maybe
like
they were
snorkels.
Maybe they were mermen. Maybe there's mermaids. Maybe we're gonna get 2 weeks R&R with mermaids.
He thinks about it for a second, and he says, "You had me at mermaid."
Yeah.
He goes,
That sounds kind of fishy to me. I don't know.
and he says, that being the case, they're coming this way, and we probably have problems.
So
Like, how are they coming this way? Are they coming this way in the water or on the land like we came?
They're both. So the two dudes are kind of like leading them up the road that the Master Sergeant went up.
And so they'll have to cross the bridge that we crossed to get over.
Correct. And then there's the ones that are walking in like the surf. But like,
okay, cool.
It's only waist deep, so they're just walking along.
Did you bring the 240?
He says, I want to keep my rank, and he like pats it as it's sitting on the boat.
Nice. Okay, let's set that 240 up on the water. Engineer and Rick James, let's get all those charges on the bridge. And so when they cross the bridge, we blow the bridge, and like we don't have to fight. We just kill them all.
So I would like to suggest that we see if we can scoop up enough of the powder to fire one round out of one of these cannons straight down the causeway when they come.
Sure. Let's do both.
All right. JR, give me a saving throw.
Benny, you do whatever anybody tells you because you're low man here.
Oh, it's going to be that way.
Do I have any negatives to subtract to it?
Nope. I just need a saving throw, which means you need to look at your saving throw number and then get below it.
All right. I got a 6, so I got below it.
Yes. All right. As you pass the cannons, kind of looking for like a cannon push to a plunger to load the balls, right, and load the powder. You pick up the plunger, which you find one that's intact, and as you grip it, you kind of get the sense that you might not need the powder.
Oh, I passed that information, the gut feeling along to Captain Powers, who the chat seems to think, since they can't read the smaller writing, that Chaos Actual is actually Cheeseburger Cole.
They can't read the writing, really?
Because with his full name, it's small, and I guess if they're watching on a phone or something,
so
they think it says Cheeseburger Cole, which I think is equally appropriate.
Here we go, nice and big.
That was my dancer name after I got out of the military.
$1's a dollar. We won't judge you.
I was very popular.
All right, you guys do have cannonballs available, so they do have small stacks of cannonballs.
So I'm going to ask the dagger team to come help me manhandle this into position, so it's aiming on the likely avenue of approach.
Gotcha. We got Nick back. All right, so if you're looking at the map, we got. Here's where the cannons. Oops, there we go. Here's where the cannons are. Right. You got cannons on the low side. You got cannons on the other side as well, but those aren't going to help you along this bridge, right? And that's where you think the enemy is going to mostly cross, except for the ones that are wading into the surf, which are probably going to come from here. And they have cover from your cannons.
I will let Captain Powers advise on where he thinks the best placement is, so that way, if it goes badly, it doesn't go in my OER.
You want me to do your job for you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want you to captain. You know, as you do. I'll make the recommendation that we aim for the to bridge, which is one of the avenues of approach, and then let him make the final decision.
Yeah, let's go with the bridge. I mean, you are the one getting the force and all. I mean, what's the 3 on an OER? It's not good. It's not great, but OER is average anything anymore. It's average, and I've always thought of you as right down the middle. Nothing exceptional, but nothing bad.
Oh, you wound me, sir. You wound me.
Yeah.
All right, what is everybody else doing?
Hopefully, moving cannonball so we can reload and fire again.
Big Benny, did you move all the cannonballs for us?
It's going to be that way.
I'm staring at my fetishes and trying to figure out if anything is doing any of them are changing or doing anything strange as I'm sighting across from the tower, looking at our enemy.
Nothing that you can see. One of the cannons gets hoisted up by Lamb, and the big golem walks over to you, Rick James, and he says, "Load."
Great. I'd like to position my rifle to shoot at the guys walking on the beach.
Okay. Rick James, do you load the cannon for him?
Yes.
All right. So putting the round in, putting the cannonball in isn't something that gives you any sort of willies, but as you pack it down with the plunger, JR, you can feel like a vibration and almost like electricity in your fingers as you're packing that in.
All right.
Ooh.
And I keep a running dialogue about what's happening because, I want the OER to say above average. So I need the captain to know what I'm suffering for the cause.
As this is all going on, Wilbur, you start getting that whispers. Yeah, that whispering again.
And can I tell? Can I angle myself and figure out where it's coming from, or is it all inside my head?
It's mostly inside your head.
Okay.
You think there could be some what do you call it? There could be some echo effect to it, but you're not really sure. It's a weird effect that you really can't put your finger on.
So I block out everything that's going on around me and just try to close my eyes and try to focus on the whispers, just trying to see if I can make sense of it.
All right. It's kind of it wants to force your gaze toward the beach.
I comply. I started looking over at the beach and seeing what I see.
All right. Well, you can see the what do you call it? You can see the zombies moving. So that's one thing. They're coming that way, but that's what it's telling you. Something about the beach.
Do I see any scrub, anything growing, anything that maybe I could apply some of my thought to and maybe influence?
Nothing that you can see, nothing that you can feel. All right. So after a few minutes, you got the master sergeant. He's He's on the wall, aiming down at the beach. You guys are kind of arrayed around the wall, kind of taking in the length of the beach because you have the trellis, the stupid bridge. There we go. I can speak the words with the making. You got the bridge coming in from one side, and then the beach from the other. You got a small horde of these zombies walking in. Crowley is off to one side, talking about, and you can see them kind of moving in here, right? It's not like you remember from the movies. There's not all this groaning and stuff like that. They're just quiet.
I would like to pass on the suggestion to Captain Powers that we give one of the green tree man vials to Benny, to Frankenbeans, and make him even bigger.
Do we need him bigger?
I mean, if huge is good, huger is better.
So another question: am I close enough where I'm standing, staring at the beach, to be able to lob a vial of oil and actually hit any of the guys approaching on the beach?
You could probably get a vial over here.
Right. Which would be the upward approach.
Yep. And if you went on the wall, you could hit these guys down here on the beach that are approaching on the beach.
Well, why don't I, yell to the guys, let's take advantage of some of our oil, if nothing else, and take these guys before they get here.
All right. So you're going to start raining down some oil?
I'm going to do that.
All right. You put one at the bridge and then on the beach?
Yep.
All right. So you pop. Oh, go ahead.
See, I'd like to steal an idea from chat and ask some of the dart team to start grabbing gravel for grape shot. Wow.
Gotcha.
Say that 3 times fast.
All right. So you got 3 cannons total. You have the cannons that are on that lower wall. That's 2. And you had 1 cannon that Lamb grabbed and is going to put on the wall and fire himself.
Sweet. So are all of them loaded with explosives?
He's got cannonballs in them.
Okay.
If you want to if you want to pack them with grape shot, you're going to have to unload the cannonball or fire it and then wait and then repack.
And Rick James has got some tase action going on, so who knows what'll happen there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm going to
fire cannonballs first, and then let's leave grape shot for final defense.
Yeah.
All right. So
I've gathered it though and have it in a pile to quickly load.
A couple of the daggers pop like those high intensity flares. They hand you one, Rick James, because they assume you're going to be firing one of the cannons, or are you just loading?
Yeah, I'll fire.
All right. He hands you one. One of the dagger guys comes up and he's like, "Anybody?"
I'll take it because I like sparklers.
He hands it to you, and he runs over to stand beside Lamb. A minute goes by, and you guys are all kind of prepped, and the zombies just stop. Right?
Well, that was inconvenient.
Out of the water, from totally submerged, one of those little dwarves comes up onto the beach, and he like reaches into his armor, and you can tell it's the one with the pistol strapped to his hip. He holds up like a white cloth.
Yeah, right.
I tell the 240 team to light him up.
Okay. The
So
daggers
much for engaging.
the daggers are running the 240.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Make those water plumes around him before you actually put one right through his head. And then I twirl my flare.
So they start slapping the water. It's got that, as it's like slapping the water and making those little thwips, right? He takes one in the chest.
Yeah.
Gets like catapulted back into the water. There's this huge splash. The other dwarf that was with him, that was kind of like rising out of the water, he jumps back in. What do you call it? The zombies start moving again. Let's go for initiative.
Sweet.
I got a
comment
7.
that shooting a dwarf in the chest with a 240 might be one of those things I take to my grave. Is like when they're like, "Oh, grandfather, what were some of the beautiful things you saw?" And I'll just chuckle and die.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like I mean like he was doing that thing where he was crouching to get away from the rounds, and when it slapped him in the chest, you heard like a ding, but like you saw the exit come out the back, and he's got these like weird braids off the back of his head, and those kind of flopped forward as he pitched over and hit with a huge splash. The zombies start moving up the beach. They're moving a lot faster than they would you would think in a movie or anything like that. Some of them are running, and they're moving up that lower path on the side with the cannons, and they're also moving up the beach. So they're moving up through here. So you have a large portion of them that are kind of moving up on this road. They're surging. It looks like they're heading toward the wall. The fort gate was open when you guys came in, but the daggers figured out how to shut the portcullis. So like you have like big iron bars that they can't get through on that side. But it looks like they're charging pretty quickly.
Let's shift to the 240 to hit this choke point where the trail ends.
Gotcha.
If they surge up through there, we can at least traverse and put fire there, plunging fire on them.
Can we start with the cannon since we don't have unlimited bullets?
Well, I'm not. I would say yes. Let's do everything, but in the meantime, let's put the 240 there so that let's have the 240 put fire there so that we can stop the surge. But yeah, I would say let's use let's use everything at once.
Let's napalm them.
Yes.
All right. So you got a fire burning right here, which is slowing them down, right? Because that's with the oil, and the fire that's burning right here is keeping them from climbing that area of the beach. So it looks like the ones on the lower side of this hill near the beach, they're going to be moving. They're going to try and move around through this wall over here to move to the other side.
Okay.
Away from the flame. These guys are halted. The 240 guys open up and just eviscerate the ones that are in the lead. That brings us to Rock Powers. What are you doing?
I'm observing the fire and I am adjusting where I want it for maximum effect, and then telling my second in command, Rick James, to get the cannons employed on those who are stopped below if we can get an angle on them.
Okay.
All right. That brings us to Rick.
I'm going to adjust my aim as directed and fire. And I rolled my 2 hit dice and got a natural 20.
That's how you do it, James.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you rolled your 2 hit dice?
My D20. I rolled the dice to see if I hit them.
I gotcha. All right. We're cool now. We want to really quick, because before we get all descripty, we want to say thanks for subscribing to Gunner Ike, who subscribed for a month at Tier 1. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And he followed us too, so that's awesome, man. Thanks.
And it was his idea for the grape shot, so we thank you, sir.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Hey,
is he a D&D aficionado or is he a Forgotten Ruin aficionado? How has he come to us?
Yeah, put it in the chat. And for JR, you kidding? This is better than a cup of coffee. Hit me up in the chat because we used your idea. We'll what do you call it? Not hit me up in the chat. PM me on Twitch because we used your idea. We'll give you a 1 month subscription to Roll20, so you can run these games on your own. So
we'll some very shortly have some of these to give out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, hit me up. We'll take care of you. So Leo Vicarius is like, I'm at work, so I can't blow money on subs right now. It's all right, man. We still love you. So you hit that, you light the cannon. And it's weird because the wick is like nearly non-existent. You didn't think that you'd have enough for a transfer wick to get this thing primed. but as you touch the flare to it, it goes off even without the gunpowder. The zombies that are on this side of the bridge get decimated, and a bunch of them get blown into the water. There's a tremendous hole in the bridge. You see the zombies that are closer to the land, they get blasted by shrapnel from the stone, like detonating in place from that cannonball hitting it. That brings us to CJ.
I'm moving to where a lamp is, and I'm gonna take a shot at one of the zombies trying to get on the wall.
All right, go for it. God bless you.
A total of 6.
Thank you.
I missed.
All right, so you pepper the beach, raining down bits of sand and fire because, like I said, there's right here there's a big fire burning from the oil, and it seems like that group is moving away. It looks like they're moving down the long side of the wall. That brings us to Wilbur.
So, do we have any of these little dwarves or any of the non-zombie people in sight?
No, the one that was not eviscerated by a 240, he dove back under the water.
Okay, so and the fire is still going strong. I'm assuming from the prior volley of vials.
Yeah, it's still burning.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take out my Mark 18 and start taking some pot shots at zombies, taking one out at a time.
All right, talk to me.
I got a 17.
All right, you're using your pistol carbine?
Yes.
All right. All right. And what'd you get? I'm sorry.
17 to hit.
17. Give me damage. 2d6. Yep.
Yeah. I got an 8.
An 8. All right. So you pop the stock, raise that thing to your face. The holographic engages, and you put one straight through its head. There's a smattering of blood and bone that goes out the back of this thing, and it just becomes like a wooden plank and just hits the beach. Comes to Benny.
I would like to plink away at 2 of them if I could.
All right, you're going to go rapid succession?
Yes.
All right, go for it.
Okay. I got a 2 and an 11. That's a miss and a miss.
All right. Let me get this. All right, so you get a 2 and an 11. Like before, when CJ took a couple shots, you rain a little bit of fire and sand onto them, but that particular group looks like they're trying to hightail it out of there. That brings us to them. The one on the long wall side, those guys just start like jogging away from you. The ones on the side where the cannons are, they start trying to rush through the flame. And it looks like they're catching on fire a little bit, but they manage to, even though they're on fire and taking damage, they reach the outer wall. A couple of them have a hold of the portcullis. The rest of them are on fire and kind of looking for handholds to start climbing the outer walls.
Whoa, that's not good.
Am I able to transverse my cannon down enough to get a shot with the grape shot that I just reloaded?
You can try it. You're going to be at a -2 because of the angle.
Okay. So is it my turn, or do I got to wait for Chaos Actual first?
No, wait for Chaos Actual first. He's up in the batting order first.
Chaos Actual is going to now move to where they're going to try to surge up, and he's going to invoke his sword's power and be ready to repel with the Colt Steel.
All right. You say lucky number 7, and nothing happens.
Well, I don't like that, but I'm going to have to be there anyways.
All right. So you're standing there to repel borders?
Yes.
All right.
Like a good pirate.
JR, you're up.
All right, so I rolled a 19 with my bonus hit. That's a +1. That's a 20. -2, it's an 18. So I should
All
still
right.
be good.
And you're using the grape shot this time? As
Correct. The
suggested?
gravel. Yeah.
Yep, by Gunner Ike. Go for it.
All right. What damage would I even roll for cannon?
Give me a 3d6. Give me the.
I got 13.
Oh my God! Harkening back to some Crimson Hawk days. What'd you get?
13. Excuse me.
A 13. You see the small wave that are over on the wall get peppered. Some of, excuse me, some of it gets, some of it like blows through them and has no effect, but others are just trounced. They get. It's almost like a pressure wave just crushes them, like a wave of hammers, just shattering them in place, knocking them down. In some cases, boots just staying where the rest of the body fled. It's very visceral. So the only ones that are left, you got 3 that look like they're looking to climb the wall from your side. That brings us to CJ.
I would move to support the skipper, and I'll call Santa Muerte on my spear to activate it.
All right, yours actually activates. All right, and what are you doing?
I'll attack any of the creatures that are scrambling on top of the wall.
Nope. But if you look at the map, you're over here.
Yeah.
Right. So these zombies right here, they're coming down the long side of the wall. They're like going toward the other side of the fort.
Yeah, no, I was heading back to where Captain Powers is.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So you're over here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you could probably stab down on one of those guys. What do you do?
Stabbing. And there we go.
It's an AC 8.
Okay, so I got a 14. I think that
14?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you hit him. All right. So you kind of like do some like spearfishing action where you ram down on this thing. His head explodes. Give me damage so I can see what other effect it has.
4.
His head explodes, but the rest of him comes apart, and he takes the next closest guy to him, which only leaves on this side, only leaves this guy right here as climbing up the wall. All right, that brings us to Wilbur.
So, is there anything heavy I can just drop on him? It seems like.
Yeah.
So
you got cannonballs, you got barrels you can roll over there. You got wooden planks. There's benches.
It almost seems that it would be hard to avoid someone dropping a cannonball on your head,
pretty much
as you're climbing. So,
or save the cannonball and just stab him.
Well, I've got a dagger, so yeah. Yeah. So, is there anything else other than a cannonball that might be useful, like a barrel or something?
How close to me? How close to me is he?
So he's here,
right?
Right. That's the guy who's crawling up there. You are down here with these cannons.
So I would tell him to come grab my pistol because I'm reloading the cannon.
He can't do that from where he is. You're going to have to go into the fort right here. There's a door that leads back into the fort. You'll come up these stairs and then have to run the pistol over, or he'll have to run down the stairs to come get it.
So I can I guess lean over and take a quick shot with the carbine down on top of his head.
You're gonna try and shoot him? Hit it.
Yeah, sure. And I roll a 11.
That is just barely. You're not trying to hit him somewhere special. You're just trying to hit him.
No, just hit him.
An 11. Yep, perfect. Yep, you hit him.
All right.
Gunner Ike is saying this is the first time you haven't tried to throw fire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. All right, so yep, you slam into him. He what do you call it? He it looks like one of those things where all of a sudden he loses his grip and he just falls flat onto his back, and hits the what do you call it? Hits the grass and turf. So all you're hearing is on the outside the burning of flesh and like the dead things on this side running up the beach. So if you look, it looks like they're going toward here, and it looks like they're going toward see all these cannons that you have up here. If you look at these cannons on this side, you have an emergency portcullis door that leads to both sides, and also leads in the interior to a ladder. So when you guys were getting set up, you were kind of like checking out the fort. So it looks like they're going to run to this side of the beach and assault that way where you're not.
So I am going to hand the magical charging. I forget the name of that piece that you load the cannon with. That is what imbibes it with power. I'm going to hand it to Rock Powers, and tell him that this is the magic behind the cannons, and he's got the speed ring, and he could beat them there if he uses his magic ring, and he can load around and take them out.
You mean run through all that fire?
But
What's
you would
that?
get a medal. I'm pretty sure this is Silver Star worthy, sir.
You mean run through all that fire?
For a Silver Star.
For a Silver Star.
That you're going to have to give yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, why not just the CMH while you're at it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, sir? That might even be worthy of one of those. He's right.
Oh my God.
I say we have a fairly good defensive position here right now. Why don't we just keep loading cannons and shooting them from here?
Because my thinking, sir, is that if we've got a pirate ship needs cannons, and these magical cannons fit the bill, so we don't want to destroy those cannons over there in the quest to get them.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But I would say my position would be we should consolidate and stay here and not get spread out. Now, we could send Big Benny over there.
How many of them are there? Can you tell?
You look like about 20.
So if we give him some of the green tree juice,
Yes.
he'd be even bigger, and then he could just take them all.
Yeah, we should do that. Benny, would you like a sports drink?
I'm not drinking that cook.
What about Frankenbeans?
You're going to give Frankenbeans one of the tree potions?
Yes. Well, Nick's got to ask, or excuse me, Powers has to ask him because they're buddies.
Yeah, I don't think we need to give it to him. He's big enough. If there's 20 zombies left, we've got this handled.
Okay,
All right.
he has spoken.
You're going to let them climb the wall?
Yes.
All right. So he's got the cannon that you guys had already kind of filled up, and he looks at the two daggers that are kind of in front of him, and he says, "Move." They have no problem listening to him and moving the hell out of the way. It takes about 5-10 minutes for those guys to all start for the what do you call it? The zombies to start climbing the wall, the exterior of the wall, because you guys have shut the portcullises on the other side. Leo Vicarius wants to know if there are tacos on the other side of the wall. Only if they're lucky. You guys have closed the portcullises to give yourselves more breathing room with these things, so that you didn't have to deal with them head on of climbing in here. So the first wave starts running up running down that narrow length of wall, and Lamb has a cannon full of grape shot, which he what do you call it? The dagger team member that's with him lights the cannon while it's on his shoulder. He says, "No backblast area in one of these, hopefully." And then the cannon goes off, and it just dusts the entire wave of zombies moving up that wall.
Nice.
You see probably about 10 more take their place. And as this is all going on, to give you guys a little a little wider view of this. As this is all going on the outside, on this side of the beach, you see another wave of these zombies coming in.
Whoa.
All right. So that brings us back around to Rock Powers. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to respond to the second threat that we're getting more zombies coming from that area. It seems like they'll have to channelize through that little that path right there to come up the walls.
Well, is there two paths in? Because it looks like, I guess near along the ridge looks like there's an opening as well.
Well, you got fire right here, still burning.
Right.
And fire right here, still burning. But there's no flame or any deterrence out in this area right here.
Right. But there's this path that seems to come up from the beach to the fort right there.
Yep. Right here.
So yeah, let's put no on the other side of the wall.
Over here.
Yeah, up here.
Yep.
There's a path there.
Yep, right here.
Right there. Let's have the 240 shift to there.
Gotcha. We'll put some fire down because we like fire. Whoosh. All right, so you got flame right here, and you got flame right here. And so you're going to shift the 240 guys over,
yes,
so that they start dumping waves of fire into the beach.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, because they're going to be channeled that way unless they start climbing that hill.
Right.
All right. So zombies aplenty. Oh, all right. So you got all these guys hitting the beach from that side. Off right here, behind these rocks, you see one of those dwarf dudes. He pokes his head out a little bit, gives it like a once over, and then turns around, puts his back against those rocks so you can't see him.
What is Crowley doing? Is he kind of with the 240?
Nope. Crowley is over here.
Okay.
And when you started saying that there was a threat on the other side, he's putting up his sniper weapon.
Sweet. I'm going to tell him that there's a dwarf over by those rocks on the shoreline, and if that dwarf pops up, to do him.
He gives you a thumbs up. What do you call it? This dagger team guy is screaming his head off. Lamb is currently fighting the zombies that are coming up by hand, and he handed the cannon to this dude, the dagger guy. Cannon weighs several hundred pounds. It has fallen on him, and he's trapped. And he's got this dagger guy helping to run the gun, trying to load it so Lamb will come and get it and pull it off his lap, basically. That brings us to Rick James. What are you doing?
You muted.
All right. So, can you leave the map up?
Yep. Go ahead.
So I was over on the far left. Are there any unused currently cannons en route to where the action is happening? I'm not seeing any.
So no, you don't have any cannons on this side.
All right. Can I hit where they're coming up from my position without hitting our people?
So you're down here in a depressed area. So you're below where they are. They're about 40 feet above you.
Then I am going to keep the magical. I'll look up whatever the sponge
plunger.
The plunger, is that it? Okay, so I'll keep that with me, and I will run to engage, and get closer to where the action is taking.
All right, so you're going to come up to one of these walls up here.
Correct, and then I'll see if there are any cannons from that assessment.
The only cannon that you have is the one that Lamb took, and it's currently sitting on the lap of this dude.
All right, well then I will head in that direction.
Okay, that brings us to CJ.
I will move to assist Lamb, Franken Beans.
All right,
and try to spear any zombies attacking him.
All right, so you can get in here and probably reach around him. That poor Freight. So sorry.
I don't think I will.
You could probably spear one on that side. Go ahead. They have an AC of 8, so you need to get an 11 or higher to hit him.
And I miss.
All right. You rake into the wall, shattering one of the stones, but don't manage to hit him. Frank is just too large and in charge in the way to get around him.
So can we take a moment and laugh in the gloriousness that Nay just suggested, using the cannonballs to go bowling for zombies?
If you think you can lift it to do that, although
I mean,
these are kind of like duck pens.
yeah, I mean, Benny, Frank and Beans, excuse me, might be able to. I just thought it was hilarious.
Right on. So yeah, we can. What do you call it? Hey, Shelterbug, thanks for following us. Appreciate it. Sparky68, thanks for following us. Awesome.
Thank you.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. We love having you guys. Sanokin saying, hollow out one of Benny's heads and pack it with explosives. Oh God, no. So that brings us to Benny. I'm sorry, Wilbur.
So am I in throwing distance of, well, what would you guess how I'm going to be throwing? Some fire into the narrow area that the zombies would be approaching at.
You want to launch fire into here?
No.
Or onto here?
Well, so I was thinking initially the approach that they would take right there. Yeah, kind of where you have it.
Yep, right here.
Yep.
All right, so you're gonna put fire over there.
Yep.
Give me a roll. Tell me what you get. Don't roll one.
That's my job.
Yeah, that's his job.
I got an 11.
Yeah, you're fine. Yep, you managed to get it in there.
All right.
So yeah, and Crowley has suddenly become very, very active.
Excellent.
He, Mr. Crowley, you guys are surrounded by zombies, and there's this little bloody dwarf behind this. If I can find my cursor, there's so many screens. There it is. Right. So there's. It's not working. Anyway, there is a stone off in your field of vision where there is a dwarf that seems to be directing all of this. And there it is. So he's hiding behind here, and Rock Powers has said if that dwarf sticks his head out again, he wants you to reach out and touch someone.
All right, so I'm gonna Han Solo in and save the day.
That brings us to Benny.
I'd like to try to roll the cannon off of the dagger and see if he's got broken bones.
All right, gimme.
What kind of roll do I need?
Yep, what's your strength?
17.
All right, go ahead.
I got a very respectable 14.
Nicely done. Yeah, you managed to kind of like lift it up onto its end and then kind of like barrel roll it off of him. He does not have broken legs, but he's got that kind of expression like, really, dude? Really? Like toward Lamb for, what do you call it? Dumping the cannonball on him. That brings us to J-Mac already did his thing. So zombies. The zombies on this narrow bridge, they surge forward and tackle Lamb. And they're pummeling the crap out of him. The ones on the beach are stopped up by this flaming thing of oil, and it has stopped their advance. That brings us back to Rock Powers.
Rock Powers, using the Ring of Speed, will run down and start hacking at the zombies on Lamb.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
Would you accept a 6?
I will definitely accept a 6. However, the zombie does not accept it. He believes it is against his religion and that you have unfairly judged him for his undead status, and he ignores your 6.
Does the Ring of Speed give me 2 attacks?
It does not, and it does not appear like you're like in speed. It appears more like you're jumping from location to location, almost like you're blinking from one side to another.
I see. Okay.
I changed my mind. I want the ring back.
You can't have it.
That brings us to Rick James.
All right, so they already loaded this cannon, so I am going to maneuver it to see if I can get a shot where they're gathering, where that what was it? Where the little person was, the dwarf. There we go.
All right, so you're gonna try and cannon shot from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get a name.
All right, so in order to do that, you're gonna have to cross that like bridge that the zombies are all swarming right now, to get to the cannons on that side.
With the cannon that was on the dagger guy's lap, can I aim in that direction where they're all clustered?
If you can pick it up.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option. All right, then I'm going to grab my magic plunger. That doesn't feel like that's the name for it, and I'm going to run through the zombies to try to get to the other.
I just wanted to hear you say magic plunger.
I feel like Mario.
You're going to try and run through the zombies to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to be swinging that like a mofo.
Okay.
Trying to clear the way.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, so you're running through that section to get to the cannons on that side, yes?
Yes, and I'll roll an attack. I'm going to make this. I will get no ones here today.
Famous last words.
Do I need to roll, or am I just running?
Yeah, you can roll. Yep, there's lots of zombies though.
I got a 19 +1 for the attack bonus. So
Nice.
that's a 20.
D&D.
All right, there we go. Now we're
I
talking.
might keep these dice after all. Wait, I just probably cursed myself for the next one.
Sparky 6868. Now I have the image of JR dressed as Mario beating zombies with a plunger. Oh my god.
I think that officially was a scene. Yeah.
Oh my god. Dun, 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 dun. And then you'll have the boing. All right, so what did you get?
And
He
of
got a
course,
19.
I got a
Private
19
Soprano.
+1 with my attack bonus, so it was a 20.
And of course, Private Soprano in Forgotten Ruin loves to do Mario quotes.
Yes. Speaking of, did you want to talk a little bit about Forgotten Ruin?
Yeah, Forgotten Ruin just dropped its second book on April 1st. It was not an April Fool's joke. And last time we had Rangers versus Orcs. And now, as you can clearly see from that badass cover, where the one skeleton is like, oh my gosh, I'm getting my face pressed. And that guy's getting his skeletal brains all over the place. Look at the guts. Look at that one coming in from the right. He's all
awesome.
right in the back. Then this other guy is literally getting his head stomped right. The other guy got it through the rib cage. But if you can't tell, this is U.S. Army Rangers, the premier shock troops in the U.S. arsenal versus the undead. This is basically the thing that you never knew you needed that now you know you absolutely want. It is a lot of fun. A lot of people are reading it and listening to it. Go pick it up on Amazon and Audible and join the fun.
This is the best thing I think you could say about it. Hit and fade so good it makes you want to slap your mama.
Yo!
I love
Mama
that
Deuce
cover.
don't play those games.
Right? So many people have asked who that is on the cover, whether it was Talker or Thor.
It's Kurtz.
It's yeah.
All right,
it
so
was.
Who is
I looked at
the weapons team sergeant.
What was that, JR?
I looked it up. It's either the sponge or it was the rammer, or the two names for those tools.
Yep. So you got the rammer.
All
Yes.
right.
It will be on Audible June 1st.
Can't wait. Your narrator is amazeballs.
Christopher Ryan Grant, it would be great to have him on the show and have him do voices.
Oh my God.
Make it happen.
Can you float me his contact information and I'll set that up?
I sure can. He's a really cool dude. He likes to rep Forgotten Ruin. He's also the voice of Strange Company, which is a book I had came out last week. So
he has some range.
Yeah, he is a lot of fun. I love his Vondahar voice. I love the witch that he did in Forgotten Ruin. It sounded very much like the Emperor from Star Wars. Jabba sounds like Gollum. So everything is hitting on all the right notes.
That's awesome. Okay. Oh, never mind. Yeah. So, this is an amazing, like Nick said, this is the thing you didn't know that you need, that you absolutely need. So you should go out and get that right now. You can get it at forgottenruin.com. You can get it at galaxiesedge.us. So yeah, there's tons of places that you can snag this. You can get it on Amazon too.
You can get it on Amazon too, and I think one of us is working on a deal with a well-known military outfitter just outside of Bragg, Ranger Joe's, right? Where they will actually have in-store physical copies maybe soon.
Which would be
So
awesome. That's up
if-
Benning, by the way.
Benning, sorry.
So if they buy it directly from your website, do you guys earn more money if they wanted to support you even better?
Excuse me. The physical will only be available from us. We're actually doing a print run ourselves this summer of it. So you can't get the physical right now, but when we do, we're actually going to have it in stores and we're actually going to sell it through the website.
But if they wanted to get the ebooks from your website, do you get a higher percentage?
That's we only do that for a few days before we go live on Audible. So now it's totally Audible. Just get it on Audible. Not Audible, Amazon, and that's where the market is.
Outstanding.
So back to the action. That was, I believe. Let's see, CJ, were you up or was it Wilbur?
Well, JR was still.
Oh, it's JR. You doing? Oh, that's right. You're trying to do some cannon. What are you going to try and do with that cannon there, bro? JR.
Once I get there, I'm going to load it and start firing away at the zombies.
All right. So you're going to try and lift it to fire, or are you going to try and help to clear the zombies off of Lamb? Because he's the only one that can lift the cannon and aim it properly.
No. I ran through the horde of zombies to the other wall where there's the cannons. They're on the wheeled mounts, so I can maneuver those because
that's right.
They're easy to move on those wheel things. I've manually moved some before.
I was so excited about hit and fade, I just lost all sense of where I was. That brings us to CJ.
Yep. I am going to go green. I'm gonna drink one of them potions.
Oh damn!
Run into a tree.
Oh yeah!
All right. This is where it gets weird. So you pop one of the potions and start a chugging.
Yep.
All right. If you thought Lamb was big, the clothing on Lieutenant Mike Espinoza starts getting shredded as vines, leaves, and branches tear him up, just like absolutely start ripping through his.
We're gonna have to acquire that seamstress because if we keep drinking these green vials,
this is the best part where he transforms. There's CJ. Man, that was such a good thing. I gotta find out how to play that.
Space Ace.
Space Ace was so awesome.
Right? That and Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair was great, but Space Ace, when he would energize and transform from Dexter into Space Ace, just like Carlos did, that was the best. That was the bomb.
I was thinking more like the Hulk on the old movie, where his gene.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. So he transforms, turning into a 9-foot tall, kind of like a massive tree Hulk. So next action, you'll be able to act.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's got some bigness.
He could fire the cannon.
Yes, he could. All right. That brings us to Wilbur.
So I'm going to take an aim long distance and try to take one of our friends out as they're approaching.
All right. So one of the guys down here beyond the fire.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
And okay, a 20.
Okay, can you please forward me that link? So
Yeah.
Wait. Did you program that yourself, or have some of your spook buddies?
Yeah, that was a one of these.
So go ahead and roll a percentage dice.
All right.
Tell me what you get.
Let's see here. And I rolled a 83.
83, and give me damage for that, please.
2d6.
Naylin saying Forgotten Ruin Chippendales in reference to the Mike Espinosa transformation.
And
8.
I was going to tell her, too, there will be a collector's edition out this summer, and it comes with a glorious map. And also, there is going to be a field manual, or what they call, I think they call it a CS now, but but there will be a field manual edition. So think Forgotten Ruin meets Mystery Science Theater 3000, but with Rangers basically doing the laugh track.
Which would be fantastic. What was the damage on that, Wilbur?
8.
All right. You blow off his leg at the knee.
Yeah.
And it looks down at the missing leg, looks back at you, attempts to step, and when it falls over, it just starts crawling forward. That brings us to Benny.
Is the dwarf shootable?
You can't see him behind the rocks where he's kind of tucked his head into.
Is he grenadable?
From that distance, no. So he's out over here, right? So if you look at the screen, that yellow ping that we got going on, and you are in here somewhere.
Is it possible to get grenadable distance in this turn?
You can have one of the well, if you jump down, yes.
How
Or
far
you,
is
could
the
use, or you could use one of your 203 gunners.
No, how far is the leap?
It's about 10, 15 feet.
Then I'm jumping down.
All right, you're going down there.
Yeah.
All right, so you negotiate the wall, and where are you jumping down to? Out near here, where Crowley can cover you.
Whatever puts me closest to the dwarf.
All right, so closest to the dwarf would be to run to this wall over here, but you'd have to run through the horde of zombies like Rick James is doing.
Do it.
All right, so you're going to go that way as well.
What's the sense of having armor if you don't use it?
All righty. All right, so you're making a run. All right, so that brings us to J-Mac. You're up here on the high side of the wall. You got your big-ass rifle ready to do what big-ass rifles do.
I'm ready to just spray fire down on them.
All right, so you're going to
Just
go...
point me in a direction. That's all. That's all I need.
All right, so who you shooting at?
Whatever's close.
So from where he's at, does he have an angle on the dwarf?
No.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
dwarf is back in here, and he's using these stones as cover.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a sniper rifle, do I?
Let
I
me
don't think
check.
so.
I have you right here. Hold
I
on.
thought we decided he did.
I'm pretty sure you do. So
Oh,
hold
I
on.
do now? Sweet.
Let's see, Mr. Crowley, or is it Villanueva who has it? No, you're the one with the.
Yeah, I have the frag launcher.
Yeah, you have the grenade launcher on the bottom.
Ooh, he could actually land some shrapnel on our dwarven friend.
Or you could, or you could just land a grenade in the water, and the overpressure will make him surface.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so you need a 16 or higher to hit that spot using indirect.
Is that with my adjustment?
No, well, that's without your adjustment. So if you use your adjustment, what's your? Let's see, your attack bonus is a +3,
Yeah.
and then so yeah, you need a 13 or higher.
And J.E. Mac, you're a screenwriter, right?
Yeah.
Take +1 if you can give your guy a good line.
Damn it. So I rolled a 14.
Nice.
Pity the fool.
Nice.
No, come on,
And-
screenwriter. No line? You got no line?
I don't need one.
we don't need no stinking lines.
That's
I don't
actually
need a
his line, though.
catchphrase. Boom.
His line is, I don't need a catchphrase.
Oh my
Catchphrase.
god. Give me damage
you
on
don't
that.
need a catchphrase. That's great.
It's a 3d6, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Oh my god. I rolled 3 1s.
Oh.
That is a JR frag grenade.
Yeah, so there's the little like the boop, so you're sitting there and it's got a laser engagement system to judge distance, right? So you angle that onto the thing, you tilt your rifle up and use it as an indirect fire weapon, almost like the super mini mortar that it was made to be. The round detonates into that little section of the beach. There's a huge splash and some splattering rock, but you don't see the guy come up.
It was I need to borrow some of Benny's grenades and frag stuff.
All right, so that brings us to them. All right, so JR does the what do you call it? The track star leap, like he's hurdling down for a 200-meter hurdle run. He does the football, like Heisman thing where he's got his hand out to try and push through zombies. He gets tackled by two of them, and they start pummeling. JR, you take 7 points from them, and you're prone on the ground.
Uh-oh.
Now, the Master Sergeant is doing the same, and while they're busy with Rick James, he does later fool and kind of leaves Rick James there behind because he's trying to get to that side to get shots on the dwarf. That's correct, right, Big Benny?
Yeah, I'm trying to toss a grenade on the dwarf.
All right, and you get tackled. Let's see. For 11 points,
Okay.
3 of them blast you down. One of them kind of pulls your helmet up to expose your face, and then you got a zombie with a brick who's smashing you in the face with the brick.
I'm just asking for a little clarification here. Is it even possible when you have your helmet strapped on for it to be pulled up like that?
Oh yeah. It's not when you think of these helmets, don't think of something like full faced. This is it almost looks like a weird bicycle helmet with the ears cut out, and then there's a space for your headset to go in there. But that can be pulled up just to expose your face a little bit, because what'll happen is the chin strap will move over your mouth, which is very annoying. In fact, it's one of the reasons that when you're a paratrooper, they tell you keep your static line away from your head, because as you exit the aircraft, if it's too far forward, it can hit your helmet and knock it back into the plane.
Oh,
totally
wow.
Just rip it right from your skull. Very
All
nice.
right, cool. So I'm getting smashed with a brick in the face.
The KTF fiend wants to know, do these zombies have an infectious bite? He's asking for a friend. We will have to see. So far, nobody's been bitten.
That's very funny.
Inside baseball, my jaw still clicks because of my chin strap.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it still clicks.
Did you have it? Did you get it swung around?
I don't know why. It just started, it just started doing it, and it was like I never did it before, and then once I started wearing a helmet with a chin strap, back in 1989, clicks to this day.
Right on. That's brutal. We had a guy that he was doing fast roping, and he didn't have, so in the old Kevlar helmets, they're not like the new ones where they have the radiant straps that secure your chin from the back. You had to have these little Velcro straps that you would wrap around your chin strap to secure it to the helmet, so that your helmet didn't come up as much.
Right.
Because your helmet could go straight back under the back of your head if you weren't careful.
Yeah.
He didn't have those securing traps in place, and the rope hit his helmet. His helmet came off, and it did bad things to people on the ground. It was not cool.
Yeah. I was rappelling one time, and it was over a slick surface, and my feet came out from under me.
Yeah.
I came right back down, and my helmet banged. So good for that. And then my helmet went bye-bye.
Did you not have those little rabbit ear straps in the back? Yeah.
I had the old Kevlar. Just
right.
Statement of charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, flipple. It's fine. It was in the process of training. All right. So that brings us back around to Rock Powers.
Rock Powers would like to pull the zombies off his second in command and stab them repeatedly.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to roll a 19.
Nice. Give me damage.
I shall give thee damage.
We love the damage.
You damage. Fry-con beans like damage. 4 points of damage, plus whatever the sword does, but it seems to be currently deactivated.
You shatter open its head, and that particular one falls off him. So he's currently being tackled by just one guy.
Sweet.
Goes to Rick. What are you doing?
And is it really being tackled if it's just one-on-one? Is it something more intimate?
I think it would be more intimate. A little bit of zombie love. Gunnar Ike is saying, kind of like Dirk Diggler.
Oh yeah. So I am going to reach in my hip pouch and grab one of those green vials and chug it as he's rolling around on the ground with me.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check because he is pummeling you while this is going on.
Are you trying to enhance yourself for the wrestling?
I mean, I'm trying to heal myself and kill them. So,
Oh my god.
all right. So I have to hit above or below the dexterity
You got to get below your dexterity.
because I
So,
got a
like-
1.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. Yeah, you
First time a 1's been good for me.
Yep, you start busting out of your clothing.
I like that wolf armor, but oh man.
Chippendale armor starts going everywhere, and eventually you're busting out into zombie form, big tree zombie form. That brings us to CJ.
Okay. Was the cannon ready to fire? The one that was next to Frank and Beans?
Yeah,
Yes.
they packed it, so it's got this time it's got a regular cannonball in it.
Okay, I will actually no, because now there's a bunch of people right in my area of fire. So okay, well, instead I'm just gonna take the spear and attack the last zombie attacking JR.
All right, go for it.
Okay, it's gonna be 13. Do I get any more bonuses for strength now that I'm giant?
Yes, you get an additional +2 to damage.
Okay. All right. So
I just want to read as you're calculating damage. Gunnar Reich saying, "Okay, situational here, so bear with me on phrasing, but get him underneath you, chug your enhancing potion, and pummel him after he's crushed by your mass."
The struggle snuggle.
roll the 7.
You rolled a 7 with the spear activated.
Yep.
You skewer through the last one holding on to JR and actually catch one of the ones currently pummeling the Master Sergeant.
Hooray!
All right, so that brings us to Wilbur. Yeah, there might be
Muted, Wilbur. Muted.
Still muted.
Yes. Okay.
Here we go.
All better. So what's the situation on how many of these zombies do we have up on our level?
About 8.
Okay, and are there any that are like at a distance where like beyond like friendly fire?
Oh yeah, they're all swarming where all the cannons are.
So theoretically, a cannon's not going to get hurt if I toss fire at these things.
Correct.
So let me go toss a big ball of flame at the swarm of zombies.
So if you look at the map real quick, on this side there's this big open area right here with all these cannons and stuff. They're climbing up from over here, and there's about 7 or 8 zombies here, and there's 3 left on this area right here that you
got
guys
no friendlies on the far end, right?
Correct. Not yet,
All right.
anyway.
But
So
don't damage the cannons. We need them for our pirate ship.
Yeah, well, they should be able to take some fire. So let's warm up the far end of the that rampart and see what happens.
Gotcha. So you're launching fire over there?
Yep.
Tell me what you get.
15.
Okay. You get a bunch of them caught into an oil strike, and as it ignites, they do that thing where they're Macaulay Culkin running around trying to get the fire out, but when it doesn't work, they start trying to walk towards you. They're taking damage from the flame, but they're until it renders them fully, completely, 100% dead, and not this weird undead thing going on. They're going to start continuing to rush.
They're just mostly dead right now.
They're just mostly dead. That brings us to Benny.
So, how many zombies do I have on me?
You have 2 left. Carlos managed to get one of them.
Do I have enough combat experience to stab both of them in this melee round?
If you want to take a -2 to your first hit and -4 to your next hit, yes, you can. You need an 11 to hit them without bonuses.
Uh huh.
And let's see. So you get
An 11. I thought they were an 8.
no. That's the armor class. So you need an 11 or higher to hit them.
Okay.
Where is the Master Sergeant? I see you around here somewhere. Nice hit with the bottle. Master Sergeant.
I am 0 for 3 today. Usually I am single.
So you got. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
No, today 0 for 3. It's really depressing.
Well, there's always tomorrow. You got a +3 attack bonus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that will offset you a little bit. So you need an 11 or higher, and you'll be a. He
needs a 12 and a 14.
Yeah, you need a 12 and a 14 to get him.
This shouldn't be a problem. That was a natural 20.
Nice.
James.
And this one is a 14.
Groovy. Give me damages for both, and for one of them, roll me a percentile.
Because we're playing with the chart, James. We're playing with the chart.
Yeah. I'll give you the chart. So I'm seeing a 2, and you want a percentile for the other?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the chart from the magazine that you used to publish.
I did 67.
67.
Ooh, I think someone's going to lose an eyeball.
It's more like a lung. So you stab the first one in the neck.
Seems fair.
Brackish sludge and seaweed just start like raining down from the wound, almost like you're being covered in like muck and sea spinach.
Love it.
And then you retract the knife and go the other way, and you sink it in between two ribs, of just absolutely shredding the lung and ripping and breaking through two of the ribs on this thing's rib cage. That one falls flat. The one that you stabbed in the neck is still up, but it looks like you battered it pretty nasty.
Okay.
Brings us to J-Mac.
All right, so the zombies are pretty much taken care of around Benny.
Yeah, he's got one more on him, but it looks like
I can always throw a frag grenade down there to help him.
You would.
I
catch him
love
in the
that
blast.
idea.
I know
I
you
love
do.
that idea.
But is the dwarf still hiding in the water?
Yeah, he's behind these rocks right here. You haven't seen him move, and he could be there or he could have moved away. It's hard to tell.
I don't know if I want to try that again. Is Nick still wearing his captain's hat with the plume?
I don't know, Nick. Are you wearing your Captain Jack Sparrow hat?
Yep, I sure am.
Yeah, I don't have a catchphrase. The captain's not gonna make me have a catchphrase. I don't have a catchphrase.
Never have I seen a life less lived.
I'm gonna make that become the catchphrase.
What are you gonna do for your action?
Let's throw how many zombies are left in the kind of open?
In this open ground right here?
Yeah.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Jeez.
Yeah, let's toss a frag grenade in those guys.
Dead center?
Yeah. Or launch one.
Zombies love grenades.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
All right, you going frag on them?
Yes.
Go for it.
I rolled a 4.
All right, give me a percentile dice so I can see.
Probably not a good
bounce.
roll.
What do you mean percentile dice?
So roll 2d10s if you can, and tell me what you get.
A 10 and a 1.
All right, so an 11. All right, so it hits over in through here, and then bounces. So it lands kind of here on the high side. The wall takes the brunt of it.
Oh.
If you had rolled differently, it could have gone a lot worse. So yeah, the wall takes the brunt of it. Luckily, your friends, when the wall took the blast, it funneled the blast back this way. Not enough to catch these guys in the open, but enough to so that it didn't also hit your friends who were over here.
Do I still have a move action?
I'm sorry?
Do I still have a move action?
You can move a little, but because of what you had to do to aim and stuff like that, not a lot.
I want to get closer, as close as I can get in that turn.
So you can probably move to about right here.
That's good.
All right. So they start attacking. These guys, they kind of move up. All right. So they're moving beyond the fire, like on this low side. And the ones on the deck, you got one that's still on Benny. Benny, he's going to try and hit you. Oh. I guess it's my turn for a natural 20 today.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Huzzah.
I don't think you should be cheering for that roll, young man.
Well, aren't you the guy that always says "my very good friend" and how happy you are? And
Yeah, that's what I say, but I never cheer when my ally gets nailed in the face with a brick.
well, can I roll the percentage?
You want to roll the percentage?
I really
Nick,
do.
Nick Cole! That is not the proper attitude. Jeez. Yeah, great.
You're in big trouble, buddy.
Mm.
Okay, this is
All right.
this roll is a 60. Ooh,
Yep.
someone's gonna lose an eye. A 69. One of my personal favorite numbers.
Dear Lord.
Kind of hard not to love that number.
Oh shoot!
Oh my God. Did that just happen? Let's see. Krusty E7 hit points. What do we got here? 17. God, it's getting close.
And just so you know, Big Benny, I was gonna give you your E2 rank back for bravely getting the cannon off, but it looks like we're giving you a purple heart now and a discharge.
So you got your knife up, right? You
Yeah.
had jabbed this thing in the neck, and then you hit the one with the brick in the lung and just ripped it to shreds, knocked it down. There was nothing left of it. The one that you hit in the neck falls on you and bites onto your face. As he
Probably not a good thing.
As he pulls away, you guys who are close can see the cords of his eye coming away from his face.
No! No!
Along with the flesh around his cheekbone.
Oh, that's gross.
He rips out the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And you take another 6 points.
Duct tape will fix that.
I'm drinking a green potion.
Oh, he's turning green giant.
Isn't he like -2, -4 now to hit ranged or something like that?
Okay, that's another thing you shouldn't be doing, young man. Let the referee do all that
Are
stuff.
you kidding? You now have one eye. You get to wear a patch. That's like a dream for me.
That's the ultimate pirate thing.
I'm going to be healed when I drink the potion, so I'm not worried.
Okay.
All right, so
Your socket's going to be healed.
and so that you're down because you took 11 last time, right? Total
Yes.
So you're right on the line,
Dude, a zombie bit your eyeball.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a potion. I'll be fine.
All right, so that brings us back around to Rock Powers.
Rock Powers. So the zombies are cleared off my 2 down guys, right?
No,
You got one on Big Benny.
And he's like, I drank a lot. Let me see if I hurl at this wretched scene of Private E1 Benny's eye just being chewed on. I got a 20. I think I make my Constitution check, right?
No, you fail it actually because you got to.
I barf all my rum. I use my action to barf. It's so disgusting.
Rick James.
I do the Jim Carrey. Oh,
All right, so now that I'm up and Jolly Green Giant size, I will pick up the zombie closest to me and just throw him into the rocks below.
Okay. Before we do that, we all have to say, holy cow, Leo Vicarius just gave out 10 tier 1 subs in the chat. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. It's great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that.
Back. We missed you today.
Let's see. Huzzah! Now back to the heckling.
Yeah. Did
All right,
you
so
did you hear for James losing his eyeball? It was pretty amazing.
Nick, cut it out.
I rolled the percentages that made it happen.
Oh,
So
jeez.
as we're about to finalize this combat, I just want you to know, Elvis agrees, that I rolled on the dice roller that Wilbur is using, and I got a 1 the first time, so we know it's real.
Gotcha. Sparky wants to know if Big Benny only has one eye now, does that make him a Cyclops? Does that make him the Cyclops whore?
I'm going to have 2 eyes. I'm going to be healed totally.
All I can say, I don't know if Ted Lehman is a wizard or anything, but this dice mat is legit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, by Ted Lehman. Yeah.
You do know that it turns into a box, don't you?
I'm thinking about like having this ripped off and put on my motorcycle jack.
It turns into a box for your rolling. You're not supposed to just roll on the mat.
Oh, you mean like I see. Yeah. No,
that's what the snaps are for.
Well, I'm going to use it as a mouse pad when I'm not using it. So
okay.
It converts back and forth.
But I would like to point out that like until you like this is why you're legendary games designer James M. Ward. I would have never figured out it was a box. I would have just been like, oh, I better go buy a box. I'm not a smart man.
There we go.
So the Rick James, you're up.
Yeah, I picked the guy up and I threw him over the parapet into the rocks below.
All right. Give me a strength check. Do not roll a 19 or 20.
Do you have a catchphrase? Are you good at writing?
My strength is a 13, so I've got to get.
No, right now it's not because
it's way more than that.
You're super tree zombie.
That's a hell of a catchphrase. My strength is 13.
I got a 16, and eat rocks. That's what I'm going to say when I throw him over there.
All right. He breaks onto the. You taking the one? Excuse me. That was beating on Benny.
No, the one that was beating on me.
Okay, so you're gonna pull him off your leg and throw him down.
Yes.
All right. He breaks on the rocks below and doesn't move. T-shirt. I'm a super tree zombie. So then, what do you call it? That brings us to CJ.
Super Tree Zombie seems like a Japanese anime show,
right?
It really does.
With tentacles.
But yeah, I will stab the one eating Benny's face.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
And I say, spit it back, Dad. You hit the monkey's elbow back.
I don't
Go for it.
I continue to hurl at this. This is horrible. James, I don't know what you're upset about. You spent a year transforming us into different religions, animals, becoming gay pineapples with telekinetic powers.
Okay, that never happened, by the way.
Lose one eyeball, you're transformed. I thought this is what you like. You like to make something hideous.
No, I never did it to my ally like you're doing it to me.
Wait, what?
Never ever.
Instead, you throw the frag grenade.
Yeah.
For the record,
Carlos.
You guys all have red hair now, and you worship Cuthbert.
Okay.
Hit and I did 6 damage.
6 damage, and your spear is still energized.
Yeah.
It goes through the head of the thing and rips it from the spine. So the body itself falls over. And what do you call it? So you have the head like impaled on your.
I'm to see if the eyeball comes off.
Yeah, really. Are you sure the spear doesn't continue on and slash me in the neck?
I can roll. Let's see what the Ranger dice mat says.
Yeah, really.
It does. The eyeball does come out of its mouth, but it was what do you call it? It was chewing the whole time.
Oh,
So it spits out the jelly.
I'm in dry heaves now. I'm just throwing up and nothing's coming out.
Wilbur.
I'm gonna go ahead and since I tossed a fireball over into the far end, anything that's approaching or coming our way, I'm gonna go line up a shot and take a shot at the nearest thing that's coming towards us.
All right, go for it. There are 7 on that side that are still up, even though they're zombies covered in fire right now.
Right. All right, I got a 12.
Yep, that hits. Give
All
me using your carbine.
Yes.
2d6.
And that gives me a. I keep getting 8s on my damage. All right, 8.
All right, you peg one into the chest. It blows a flaming hole out the back, and it tumbles.
Excellent.
That brings us to Benny.
Who runs to kill the dwarf behind the rocks?
You gonna drink that potion
No,
first?
I definitely drank it. Yes.
All right. So he's going to turn into a giant tree zombie as well.
You're sure you don't want to turn me into a little grasshopper or something? Are you positive you want me to go into a tree zombie?
Well, that's.
Wasn't it the black ant thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Well, that would be justified, actually.
I could turn you.
Roll on the miscability table just because of his bile and anger and bitterness.
Yeah, there we go.
Goes to J-Mac.
So has the dwarf shown? Benny's running toward the dwarf, right?
Well, he's just
Eventually.
he's just scarfed a potion. So you got Benny and JR are right
oh my
here.
god, that wall.
Right. So Benny and JR are right here.
Wait a minute. Didn't Benny jump off the parapet onto the ground? So isn't he on the ground?
No, he decided at the last minute he was going to run through to get to this side.
Oh, okay.
So he ran where JR was to try and get to that side. And then he got swarmed as well. So, but yeah, so you got Carlos is right here, who is also zombified, and he's using his spear to just eviscerate people. And then you're up here.
Okay. I want to move a little closer in this little cubby.
So you want to go right here?
Yeah, up against the wall though. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is there anything I can hit that's so the dwarf is underwater, Benny's running across all these zombies.
Yeah, the dwarf is over here hidden by these rocks. Or he was the last time you saw him.
I just want to throw another frag down on the upper zombies, the top 5.
So over here?
No, other way.
So
just kind of distract them and scatter them.
Down here?
Yeah, a little higher though.
All right, so over near the flame?
Bulk of them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just kind of try and distract them and draw them away from the wall.
All right, go for it.
All right. I roll a 10.
All right. With the grenade, right?
Yeah, +3, and then I have some other plus.
No, you're good. Go ahead and read. Go ahead and give me some damage.
Okay, let's be good here. Okay.
Yeah, let's not get 3 1s.
Okay, 9.
There you go. All right, so this whole wave that's right here gets blown off their feet in an explosion of brush and sand. They crumple into broken heaps down on the beach. That brings us back around. The zombies on this side through the flames are getting. They're trying to push, but you guys are now like zombie hulked. So you're taking up pretty much the entire gantry-way, so there's no way for them to push through. The zombies that are on here with you are dead. You got your dagger team over here that is trying to suppress these guys from climbing the wall using the 240. They're not really they're having some luck, but the 240 is not really doing a lot as far until it gets like headshots. There you hear this like crazy chanting going on. It's echoing all around you. It's the translators that are still on your wrists are having trouble trying to get it to translate for you. Benny, in your backpack behind you, you hear, "It's been nice, bitch." And then your backpack explodes.
Dang it.
Doing extra damage or just explodes?
No, his backpack
Nick,
explodes.
cut it out. Jeez.
And he turns into a pineapple.
Lamb,
A gay pineapple.
Lamb, JR, and Benny, give me saving throws.
Uh-oh. There's that.
Yes, sir.
Before, talked about.
I easily made it.
All right.
I got to get above or below my saving throw number.
You got to get above.
And I can add my my bonus attack number.
No, it's not an attack. You're saving.
So I didn't make it.
Would the plant add him anything?
No.
Okay.
I didn't make it.
All right. All right. So right now,
Missed it by 1.
What's your max hit points? So you're normally, let's see, let's get
11.
All right, your max hit points is 11. All right, let's see what we got for damage on this thing. All right, you're right next to him, so this is not going to be good. So you both, all right, so you, Benny, you were at about half hit points.
Yeah.
Until it got back to your turnaround because you're in the process of healing. So you're up to about half your hit points.
Okay.
You both just took 9 points of damage. JR, were you injured at all? Or no, because you regenerated because of the plant.
Right. So I'm back up to 11. So 9 would take me down to
2.
Yeah, 2.
All
right. So you both blow apart. Lamb is blown off the bridge. And
Not
then
Franken beans.
What do you call it? All the zombies that are what do you call it? All the zombies that are around you, the ones that are climbing, the ones that are on fire, they all crumple to the ground. So Big Benny, you took 9 points, but you took half of that, right? So that's like what, 5?
Yes.
All right. So you're blown off of your feet. JR, you're blown off of your feet, but you took all of it, all 9, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are sitting there, and as you're all damaged and just ripped to shreds, all these zombies just collapse, and everything's quiet.
So would the healing action of this tree zombie start healing me from this?
Well, you guys start regenerating. The limbs start coming out. You start growing roots, which starts filling the holes in the spaces. It's pleasant that you're alive. It's not pleasant that you can feel all of this stuff moving. So like, it's kind of like when you get a big splinter and you can feel it moving through your flesh as you pull it out. You're getting that in reverse. And like I said, all the zombies collapse, and that's where we'll pick it up next week on Sci-Fi Writers playing old school D&D. We want to thank everybody for coming out. Leo Vicarius for dropping some serious subs in there. Sheltered Bog for following us. Sparky for following us. Gunnar Ike doing some subs, as well as Recon 42. Josh Hayes. This is Josh dropping a subscription. And for those of us looking to continue the discussion, we'll be back at midnight tonight for After Dark. We love you. We love having you. And we love when sci-fi writers play old school D&D. And we're ending broadcast. It's supposedly still ending. Yeah, it's trying.
Bueller.
Yeah,
Bueller.
it's weird. So if everybody just drops out, it'll end, hopefully.
That was great.
Nick, can I call you real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Well,
Talk to you all later.
Have fun, guys.
okay.